What happened? Demira! What are, you, what are you doing over here, man? What happened? What did I do?
Oh my god.
I sense a threatening aura behind me, guys. Is everything okay?
Remember to make sure that the image overlaps a little below the bounce.
Your
Thank you,
audio's
Winter.
cool.
Now it should work.
About to
Thank
tell you that
you.
also.
Thank you. Our power went out, and I
Oh,
guess it reset everything a while ago.
am I
So
am I heard,
yeah,
or is it just Zom that's not heard?
you're blinking.
Well, I'm blinking, yeah, but that doesn't mean that I'm heard.
True.
Yeah, you're good.
Anyways, thank you for the raid, Blue Cottage D&D. Yeah, appreciate the shout or the raid. I gave you the shout out. You and that, whatever. I don't know how to talk. Why I have to think before I do things. Anyways, welcome back to Whispers of Hope, our Legend of Zelda based Dungeons and Dragons campaign. I am the Dungeon Master, Zom, and we'll go through our intros, especially since we got a bunch of new people here. Start up with Vivra on the top.
Hello, I am Rhettaliate, also known as Vivra, the Twili Druid.
Here.
I'm Jaxi. I play Demira, the weapon spirit fighter.
Murray might be on a phone call, so I might have to do it for him.
Hello, I am Sky/CeruleanxIris, or CeruleanxIris, and I play Akari, the Shiekah rogue.
Velkorin.
I'm AlistairForgall, and I play Velkorin.
And Lumi.
I'm NibiNekomata, and I play Lumi, the Rito bard.
And I'm Zom, the Dungeon Master, the one who doesn't matter still. That's
Goodness
just my intro
gracious.
forever. Anyway, why are all my NPCs out already? They should not be out. Oh well.
Because they're gorgeous.
They are. Boop.
They
They're gonna
deserve
hide
the
though. I
spotlight.
gotta hide them. Put them back away.
No!
They're not supposed to be out, right? Anyways, yeah. No major announcements as far as I can remember for us. Yeah, I like those in. Well, you'll see them in a minute. As far as, like I said, no major announcements or anything. So, on to the continuing anything else. What happened the last session? Did happen. Let's go. Our players got back to Zoro's domain after dealing with the attack that happened, finally giving them their chance to rest a little bit. Velkorin had an interaction with the mysterious god that has been manipulating him. Seems to be a little more involved with him now, especially after he cut his arm off with the scale that was influencing him from a different entity. But more on that later. After that, the party mostly took their time to rest. Demira and Velkorin had their moment to kind of figure out if Demira is real or not. Use a detect thoughts spell on Velkorin to try to see if, do I think the same thoughts as anybody else? That's when she learned a lot more stuff than she probably needed to learn from reading Velkorin's thoughts. Ended off Akari asking a couple questions about what is the thing that is possessing Velkorin or influencing Velkorin, with him revealing that it is the god of chaos or magician. At least that is his assumption. As far as that though, where we left off. So currently the party is in their kind of open air room where they had just gotten food basically before they got started. Cliffhangered on the name group. Oh, we did.
Yes, yeah. I was waiting for that.
Apparently, I forgot.
Yeah. Very specifically from Akari.
Sorry. Like, we need a name or something like that, but I don't know how. But anyways, so yeah,
I don't know, like Whispers of Hope or something.
the Whispers of Hope. But, eyes are dry, throat's dry. I'm just drying out today, apparently. Anyway,
Oh, he's already
yeah. What we do? It is currently.
Well, we were planning on going to talk to the princes right after, right? Because Akari was like, we can think on that. For now, we gotta follow the guy or something.
Yeah.
Or
Coda
were we waiting?
had spoken to you guys, just saying that that the royals want to talk to you whenever you're ready.
Yeah, so just have to kind of get dressed and ready.
Figure out what you guys want to do. It's not a rush, but that's what they told you to do. So, just right now, you guys were eating breakfast and talking.
Demira will get dressed, like actually get dressed for once. She's gonna rummage around in that like cheap shopping bag that all of her belongings are still in, back from Lon, the only bag she owns.
Her throw bag.
Yeah.
The buy-in.
And she'll get out some of the pieces from the like adventuring or like work clothes and stuff that Velkorin got her, and she's gonna wear a big like oversized cable knit sweater with a turtleneck and like baggy pants tucked into boots.
I'm not used to Demira being so covered. That's a really funny visual.
She has been picking up on the topic of modesty lately, especially at the bath with Lumi and Akari talking about modesty. And with the comments she's gotten from certain other like NPCs or party members, she's like, oh, okay, I'm starting to understand that people are uncomfortable when you're not wearing a lot of clothes. So now she's gonna wear a lot of clothes.
Holy smokes.
Lumi, meanwhile, with her blouse that reveals like the top of her chest, just like,
Vivra with her straps of leather, like,
Hold that thought. I forgot about our goddess inspiration for the day.
Oh yeah.
Yay.
5. So Lumi, you get it.
Nice.
Yay.
Also, it's chilly out.
It's chilly
It
out
is
IRL too.
in the fall by now. First season.
We're
A
is
little
it?
cooler.
Oh dang. Do I have a spell for that? I forgot that weather's a thing.
Weather is a thing.
It's probably fine. I'm wearing
Not-
magical
Yeah,
stuff.
because it's not uncomfortable by any means at this point. Just a little cooler than you would expect. All good.
Cool.
So Akari would get dressed into her normal attire at this point. Probably her normal 2 weapons she would keep. Probably be like on her back or maybe in her bag or holding, depends how she want to carry it around. But now she'll have the weapon her mother was using as the primary one equipped on her side right now. Kind of looking a little lost in thought while she looks at it for a moment before kind of resolving and being ready for this meeting, knowing that a lot of things are probably going to be asked.
If Vivra has time for it after she gets dressed, I think she'll write the 3rd letter for Nisha. I haven't written it myself yet, but when I do, I'll just send it to you.
Okay. Vivra is writing her letter. Akari is getting ready, so is Demira. What is Velkorin doing while the others are attempting to get ready for the day?
He's probably going to be putting his clothes on and then
And
realizing
struggling.
that he's got one arm. So when he does get his normal clothes, he's going to wrap his sleeve like inside because I was like, his tunic is wrapped over. He's gonna wrap his sleeve in there. That way, it's not just flapping in the wind.
Oh, right. And you would all notice that Demira is staying in that sort of softer, more human-like form.
She's staying in her cute mode.
Non-serious to me.
Wrapped up snug as a bug.
Mhm. While Akari's waiting she'll wait by the entrance, for everybody else to get ready, of course, patiently, and just let Gigi get on top of her head and flop on top of her head, perfectly balanced.
As all things should be.
You would see that Coda is still waiting at the entrance of your room, just waiting for you guys to whenever you're ready, basically.
Wait, he was waiting the whole time?
I mean,
Yeah, he said he'll wait patiently.
Around
Oh, wait, no,
or
I thought-
waiting there.
Or he
I'm
said we'll
pretty
find
sure
him,
he said
yeah.
the opposite.
Mm.
He said we'll
Yeah,
find
he
him.
said
Yeah.
find him, right.
Yeah, that's why I was like,
Never
cool,
mind.
we've got some time, I can write a letter. And now I'm just imagining Coda just staring into the room as all of us are getting ready. Just like, yeah, whenever you guys are
Yeah.
ready.
Last time.
Never mind.
yeah,
He was
did-
waiting for a second, but then went, wait, I got things to
Yeah.
do, and walked away.
Yeah, he left us last time saying
'Cause
to
I
come
forgot.
find them when we're ready, anytime, no rush.
Yeah, that's
Cool.
what I was mixing it up with.
Never mind. He's not actually.
Okay, good.
It was a ghost. Another battle starts.
Oh no.
One of those things where you looked him and, oh, what's that? And then you blinked, and then he was gone. Oh, well, what are you guys gonna do?
Is Lumi doing anything else? I think you're the only one that hasn't said what you're doing at this point.
Lumi just got dressed. She's hanging out by the door, ready to go.
Oh, so we're making Lumi wait instead of
Yeah.
Coda.
Well, no, I
Fine.
think Akari was by the door too, so you got
She's a
two people waiting now.
Yeah.
They're both
She's over there just petting Gigi on Akari's head.
Fluffy with nothing to do goes over to that corner and sits expectantly as well.
She's got two hands.
Yeah.
Akari
Fluffy's-
will also pet
yeah.
Fluffy and let Gigi join in with whatever familiar things they're doing.
Oh heck yeah.
Demira sticks close to Velkorin and she's ready to go.
I guess Vivra's. I mean, once Vivra finishes the letter, it shouldn't take too long. She'll be ready to go as well.
Demira is his trusty right hand.
I have a question. Velkorin makes his majority of his own clothes he stitches together, so he would have like a sewing kit, right? Okay.
Does his own clothes and stuff.
Then he's gonna walk up to Akari as they go at the door, because the more he moves, the more like he can't control that the sleeve stays in there, so it just keeps popping out on him. Akari, I need your help. And he's gonna pull out his sleeve and he's gonna like show where. I'm like, I need you to cut right here as quickly as possible so the cut's clean.
Cuts off
She's
his other
just-
hand.
That's just a freaking outfit.
Okay, she's gonna look at it for a moment and just cut.
Just cut it off.
There's nothing there getting cut, right?
Then I just let it flap. Like, no, I can't. I need the sleeve off.
Okay, she'll use one of her normal blades, or maybe a dagger to be easier to cut the
Yeah, I
dual
can't. I
one
can't
slice.
hold it. I can't hold it and cut it.
She'll hold it and use one of her daggers to cut it.
Okay.
I don't have to roll attack or anything for
No.
that, right?
And you're
Okay,
cutting
good.
it.
Attack the clothes.
It's got like an AC of 2. Like,
Roll
That one cuts off his other arm. Oh,
Oh my
God.
gosh.
Ah, damn, my
Outside.
bad. Look, I
could
got a
have
little off the
created
top there.
Scissors for you.
what?
Demira says, I could have created some scissors for you.
Well, too late.
I'm gonna walk outside.
Akari, you gotta do this right now.
Akari is just like, scissors would have been the more normal way to do it.
That would have been
Yeah,
a little
but, I mean,
too
it's still cut.
reasonable for this group.
This I got asked a favor. I just did it.
Yeah.
It's still a sharp blade versus 2 sharp blades.
This-
Yeah.
Okay.
She
If it's
is
done
also
fast
very
enough, it
good
just
at
goes
sewing,
Mhm.
but
Right.
she will let Akari do the task.
So with that being asked, when she mentioned the scissors, Akari
You
will
already
actually
cut it off, right?
No, I know,
Yeah.
but Akari will actually ask a question. Are you good with mending and dealing with clothes, Demira?
I think so. But you can do it.
She shakes her head and puts a hand on Demira's shoulder. Any future clothes needs, especially mending, we're gonna be counting on you.
Oh.
As I'm over there stitching up the sleeve to fold in the fabric so it doesn't fray. Like, okay.
Akari sees that, just
Vivra!
like Akari sees that, just says, "Okay, I will, and whoever else is welcoming it will be counting on you."
Vivra looks up, looks between you two, and then to Velkorin, and just flatly says, I have the mending spell.
But then would it recreate
It would
the
repair
sleeve?
the fabric. It wouldn't.
Let's see. No, because that fabric is gone, it would only repair what exists, I believe. The
Yeah,
spell
I don't-
repairs a single breaker tear in an object you touch, such as broken chain link, 2 halves of broken key, a torn cloak, or a leaking wineskin.
Yeah, but he needs
Uh.
it to be folded and then stitched, or else the fabric will start to fray out. Which is why your sleeves in real life are folded in.
Velkorin, would you mind if I helped you?
I mean, I feel like we could finagle the spell, but okay.
Sure.
This
I'll hand
is
over
them
this,
arguing in real and getting
so
game
okay.
character, by the way.
Mira knows that he wants to be independent, but she also wants to help, so she's asking first, and he says yes, so she'll sew it up for him. She
Need it to
pulls,
where it won't
like,
rip.
yeah, needle out of her body and like a thread and stuff, and does it, and then it goes away.
Hold up. He's gonna back away for a second. Where's this thread coming from? Is it gold? Is this your blood?
No, it's the
Where was-
same thin pearlescent materials.
It's your hair?
Well, it's not hair. It's pearl. Very thin pearl.
Damn, is it her hair?
Her hair is made of the pearl
The
stuff, but her
material.
hair is
That
not
doesn't-
hair.
Like, she could like top up one.
She doesn't have hair.
Above table, she has like 50 million fucking first aid kits, so she's got quote unquote has suture threads in her body. So
Yeah, but everything she makes is made from her own body, basically.
Just making
Because
sure she's
she's
not
some-
like. It's only ichor. It's not blood.
I take 5d10 damage
Yeah.
sewing Velkorin's outfit.
Like, she's the type of person that would do that, though.
has itching past. What the fuck? Gee.
Is that okay?
I mean, it's fine. She's just making sure you're not hurting yourself or doing anything weird.
Doing anything weird.
She's a person who will literally hurt herself to benefit others, so it's like making sure it's not strange.
Holy smokes.
In this particular instance, it does not hurt her.
In this, yeah, correct. Great. So we have between Akari and everybody who is helping Velkorin, he can fix his sleeve so that it's not just flapping in the wind.
Just a short sleeve now.
Yeah. As far as time of day, you guys technically went to bed early morning, so it's 3-4 o'clock later afternoon right now. Sun's up, sky's clear.
Oh, that's right. We slept through
full
the day.
hearts.
Well, I don't know about that.
We still have one exhaustion point too,
Yeah,
right? Because we
sure.
had two
Yep.
of them. Okay.
Correct.
We're
Everybody's a
still
little
a bit
little
tired.
sore. But
we're gonna start walking, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess
Then
so.
I would like to do something as we're walking.
uh,
Yeah, in the middle of the day. I don't have peace. Pocket sand all your guys' eyes and run away.
rude.
I am going to hold on. I gotta remember what it's called. I got new spells.
Fancy.
Wait, I don't think it's a spell. I just think it's an ability based on what I picked, right?
Maybe.
I try to be super vague, but at the same time, hold on.
Can I do that thing?
Oh,
with
you're
that
being vague about
spell
because it's that
level,
other
you know,
class.
the
Got it.
one that I
I'm gonna
have.
if anybody wants to do anything, I'm gonna message
Wink, wink.
because I don't know
Did I
where to
check
find it.
Did I check that dumpster I put a dead body in? Is it still dead?
Oh no!
Oh my bad. That's what D&D.
Jesus.
That's not D&D.
Not far
Sorry,
off
that was
from
real life.
truth.
Oh wait, I thought
okay,
this
well
was
then-
real life D&D.
This is real life D&D.
It's real.
Demira will just chat with Akari about sewing and ask Akari if she knows how to do that because she was about to.
Akari will give a thought and then give a little smile and then say,
That
not
thing.
really, maybe very basic things.
Okay, no, I found it. I found it.
That thing
It,
is.
it is.
No,
it
It's
is
an
sometimes-
ability you can just do.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just
Sometimes you
I
gotta
couldn't
repair
remember
stuff
the
on the
spell.
field, but you know, nothing too fancy. What about Lumi?
Lumi has been a little bit spacing out, and so she blinks a few times. What? What about me? What?
Sewing.
Sorry. Sewing. That is a skill my mother wished for me to become adept at. I can make do, but nothing particularly fancy.
Akari
She
nods.
looks away when she says that.
Akari nods and then notices the look away. Tries to give a smile to kind of help reassure us or mention. If it helps, that's the best I can do too, and I think that matters because when it comes down to it, if we need to fix something on the fly, we can do it.
I suppose so.
Plus, you have plenty of other skills that are very wonderful, just from seeing already.
Demira is nodding in agreement.
Just happy to be here.
Lumi gives what can be best described as kind of a nervous little laugh because she doesn't think that she has done a particularly good job of highlighting her skill set.
Meanwhile, Demira is like her biggest fan.
It's like that meme of Toothless making a face and Demira just thumbs up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Akari just mentioned it hasn't been long, but you and everybody have shown, of course, a lot of highlights during these fights. And I'm sure if any of us weren't here, there would be casualties, to say the least.
You're also just a joy to be around.
That
Vivra
too.
will remember that.
That too.
Oh yeah, no, Lumi, I knew you would catch that.
Lumi just looks increasingly uncomfortable with being praised. It's like she's kind of starts to draw away from Akari and Demira a little bit, not because she doesn't like being around them, but because she just does not know what to do with such honest kindness
That's
that
wrong.
it has no ulterior motive that she can immediately see. So she's just like, I'll stay back here. I'll just follow.
Demira will give her some space.
Velkorin, you gonna do
Now
your
that I
thing?
know I can just do it, right? I'm going to speak to Demira, and she's gonna hear it in her head.
Oh.
I know what it is, so I'm gonna speak
nice.
telepathically. That's a very unique outfit for this type of weather.
Is it? Oh. I didn't know that you could do this. And she's also responding telepathically. Is it not standard to wear sweaters in fall?
He then remembers that she floats, so she's not walking like on water.
Well,
as she's
she
like just a cotton ball waiting to soak up all the water.
she walks and floats. When she's in this like more humanoid appearance, you notice that she is actually walking with everyone, kind of as part of that human disguise in a way.
It is normal for people to wear sweaters in the fall, but you seem to be more bundled up than normal, even compared to the rest of us.
I've been learning a lot, and I've been thinking a lot on how I can fit in better. But if this is making me stand out in an unusual way, I could change it.
Yeah, it's gonna stop. Not realizing that nobody else can hear this conversation, so this is 100% random to everybody else.
Yeah, they're
He's
just
just gonna
looking.
stop.
They're just looking at each
Staring
other
at each other.
longingly right now.
I'm just gonna stop. Well, they can talk and walk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna stop and just pat the top of her head like he always does, and whatever makes you feel comfortable. Just don't push yourself too much.
She looks thoughtfully about it and gives him a smile and nods.
He's just start walking again, realizing he's just stopped, and he's like, "Oh right, I'm not used to being able to do this yet."
You just randomly receive this ability.
He had it all along. He just didn't know he could use
I
it.
don't know. I didn't like. I refuse to use it because why would you use it? When now that
What
everybody
would-
knows I attached to something, I might as well start abusing the power.
I'll say as you guys make your way up to the busy main lost. Oh, whatever. Essentially where the coronation was happening, basically. But yeah, you're up in the main area, whatever word that I was trying to think of that I can't think of anymore, but whatever. Lots of people are moving around, the hustle and bustle of just people working, because obviously a lot of, like, it's the daytime, like I had said before when you guys first came up from the last session, that there's a lot more damage on the village and the town than you initially saw, just because of how tired you guys were and distracted with other things. But there's a good amount of damage that is trying to be repaired currently. A lot of people are talking or moving, or just everybody's busy.
Question. That I just thought about. Is
What?
Freddy still in the capital?
Far as no.
Interesting.
Good luck.
Have fun.
Thanks.
But anyway, we'll say after you guys kind of get up the stairs to that main area, you can see that off in the distance, Coda is speaking to a couple different people. Got papers in his hands where he's kind of directing people go different directions. Free to do whatever you would like.
I thought, sorry, I thought we were heading to where the princes are and stuff.
Get Coda so he could take you there.
Okay,
Yeah,
where
we gotta
Coda?
He's in front of us.
I
telling
just
people
told
to
you
go.
where he is.
You know what? That's on me. I missed that.
He told you to come get him when you guys are ready. So if you're not ready and want to do something else.
Master Coda. Demira waves.
Yeah, right at drinking. Yeah. Um,
Coda quickly tries to finish his break.
Chugs
Exactly,
5
his 2-minute
espressos to
break.
continue working it.
He just kind of looks to the sound of his voice being called, sees you guys, and just nods for a second, and kind of hands his papers off to the next person. Similarly dressed to him, but not quite to his level. Not as fancy as him, so it must be a different person that somebody who was under him most likely to help work. But he kind of walks over to you guys, gives a slight bow, and are you all ready to go?
Yes.
Demira curtsies back.
Alright. Lead you guys on to that way and make sure everybody else is gathered. We'll head on our way up there and then back to work again. As he kind of half-sized himself.
You won't be part of the meeting.
No. You guys will be talking with Mikau and Sidon and all them. They'll kind of explain what is going on. There's lots of work to do with damage that's been done to the town. I'm in charge of that kind of right now. But let's be on our way. We're busy, lots of things to do. Kind of starts to lead you guys up to the upper portion of town. That's where Mikau and them were giving their speech before, and then there's another part slightly higher up that which would English words are hard.
Would you?
Exactly. The next higher section, which is where the royals are, basically where the king's throne would be, where everybody's up there, stuff like that. He leads his way up there, and you guys can see that everybody important is up there. I didn't have enough room to put all the NPCs on because that would be a cluster, but I at least have those. Obviously, the 3 Zora siblings are there. Temple and Esmeralda are there. Malice is there. I almost said the wrong name of somebody else, and that would have been there. Malice is there, and Frederick is also there speaking. Everybody's kind of... You can see that it's definitely... Some of them are more in the background, like Tempa and Esmeralda are just kind of there to listen. They're not really speaking, whereas the other 5 are in a pretty deep conversation right now, where there's definitely a look of concern on everyone's faces as they're trying to figure out. You can see on kind of essentially you're in a main foyer area before you get to the throne room. There's like a table and such. On that table was the cybernetic arms that Demira had cut off Lionel. Obviously, as you start to get closer, Coda just announces that he was about to say what your group's name was, but he realized, oh, you guys don't have a name yet. But anyways, he just kind of announces that the adventurers that helped with the attack are here. You're mad. As they all kind of speak up and look your direction and nod to you eachly as you're walking back. But
before anything else gets said, guys, I rolled a. It's so stupid. I rolled a 19 for sleight of hand. Can I try to hide from like angles for like Freddy and them? So like,
Are
so
you
they
kidding?
don't notice that the arm is gone. I know what's gonna happen. Velkorin knows very well what's gonna happen.
we'll
Demira's
say
just always covering his right side.
I was
You're
gonna say,
gonna hide your entire missing arm.
we're gonna say you
Angle
kind
it
of.
where he can't see it as easy, where he might still be like, oh, like, is he gone? He has to double take, you know?
Yeah, except forget that Esmeralda and Temple saw you without an arm, but either way.
Yeah, but Freddy hasn't.
Yet.
That's who I want to gear away from.
Right, we'll say that you were towards the back. You're Demira's on the one side, but we'll say that you're kind of, because everybody's fucking short except for Vivra, so yeah, you had to kind of walk behind Vivra, and you're trying to like 2/3 cover your side so your arm doesn't exposed, but it's obvious.
We'll give you a look like, what are you?
Oh.
Whatever.
Demira like only covers up to like his belly button, so you could still see the arm is gone.
Or the bandage on the arm. But we'll say that you're doing the best you can with what you were given. It's not immediately noticeable as long as nobody moves.
I mean, with a 19 sleight of hand, you would beat my passive perception anyway, so I think Vivra doesn't understand what you're doing. So she's just kind of like, you know what, I'm not doing anything about this right now. I don't know what's going on.
Lumi gives side eye, but she just curtsies to the princes and doesn't say a freaking word.
Lumi's like, not my business.
Akari does similar and just gives a polite bow of sorts.
Sidon actually speaks up first, and just as looks like you all got a well rest. Hope it was comfortable for you guys. I know you obviously, we owe you a great deal, so we want you to be comfortable as much as you can. Especially he kind of makes eye contact with Velkorin, but kind of notices that he's trying to hide on purpose. But so Sidon had enough to pick up. He's like, with his the extra roll to make sure. Yeah. He picked up your intention. I rolled a natural 19, so we'll make you.
Everybody else can see that I'm angling away from Freddy.
Yeah.
Everyone else is just like, well, this is what we're doing.
Lost my train of thought now. Sidon just kind of speaks. Now that you're all rested, I suppose it's a good time for us to discuss our next steps with what happened, as well as get your side of what happened. Because obviously, we know what we dealt with, but then something else must have happened. Leaving the floor to whoever wants to speak.
Now, when you say something else must have happened,
well, you all.
I assume they're talking about what we went through.
Oh no, I know. She's asking them that.
No, Vivra says that.
Oh, okay.
That was Vivra. That was not me.
Yes.
If it's out of character, I will say out of character.
Yes, obviously we know what happened with the monsters, but apparently something else happened afterwards. And considering all of your conditions when you got back into town, we were worried and just wanted to know what went on and what happened afterwards. That left. As far as we know, it was just the monster attack.
I think Vivra would look to Akari, because it was her whole deal at that point, and would say, Do you want to talk about it?
Better to share information all around, especially with a threat like that happening, because it's definitely a signs of worse to come. She takes a breath, gets herself prepared, think how to kind of word it. So as you know, when everything started, you saw a woman initiate the attack at the coronation party, as we all saw. We've dealt with the woman. She was the right hand of Inara, if you believe that or not.
See them all. Some of them pause, and Miko and Sidon kind of look at each other and look at Mifa, and at this point, Miko speaks up this. We had our suspicions. It was my turn to take over that something would happen. He kinda... Oh. Fell in a hole and
Just
forgot to mute, I think.
in the background, chattering and gossiping.
Velkorin fell in a
Freddy
hole and
approaches him.
forgot to mute himself.
What?
As
Yeah.
we
It's
heard
the
you.
WWE meme with the guy just looming behind him.
We
Wait,
heard,
what
you
happened?
we heard you say something, and I assume you walked away and forgot to mute yourself.
Oh yeah, I was talking about work.
Mikao kind of gestures his hands for you guys to step forward to actually walk up to the table. That way you're not standing in the doorway talking.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
I
basically.
thought we already
Courtesy to the
walked
whole
up.
group.
I didn't realize
And-
all of us were chill. Sorry, I think I talked over you.
So, gestures for you guys.
Akari
to-
joins the war table.
Basically.
Vivra joins the war table.
Which I feel at that point, it's a little too hard for you to hide, Velkorin, once you guys have stepped forward. Assuming he's back. He's not back. Give it a minute.
I'm back.
Oh, there.
Sorry for
He
the
is
local
back.
food.
Full of food. As you all kind of walk forward, which you can see, Velkorin, you're kind of just like, as you probably walk up to the table and are now not as hidden behind it, even though you were trying to. That's this. When Freddy finally notices and blinks for a second before realizing what he's actually looking at. He's like, "What the fuck happened to you?" Which at this point he kind of interrupted Mikao and ran over to you and kind of, what?
Language.
Yeah, first of all,
Yeah,
language.
we got Captain America in the room. You can't talk like that.
Just kind of unintentionally but aggressively grabs your shoulder, which
Holy
with one hand, because
Oh.
he grabbed your existing shoulder with his
Oh.
arm, because remember, he has a broken arm. He didn't grab the wound, and he just was like, what?
Wait, his arm is broken?
His arm was broken, remember? He was in a sling.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
yeah.
Right.
When-
When we
Someone
went
tried
to
to kill him.
Zarya.
So what happened was, you one-upped me, so I had to one-up you back.
Holy
and instead of breaking my arm, I cut mine off.
Just like, he was gonna comment, but then you started to say that, and he just, like, I don't know what I expect anymore.
We
Are
can
you
discuss
okay?
it after. I'm fine. We can discuss it after the meeting's done.
Which now he realizes where he is after getting distracted. I'm so sorry, as he just kind of turns to face the table again and apologizes to Mikao and just gives the plate bowing.
Just for the record, when Velkorin said that, even Akari was looking at him like, that's not a normal thing to ever say. What? Even she knows that reply was probably not the right one.
The irony.
Demira found it a little amusing.
Vivra's hand fully covers
you
her
be
face
one-
for a second.
Aren't you one downing
believe
each
the
other?
same thing.
Oh my gosh, just both of us face palming, just like, I cannot believe this.
It was
man
the
said
response that knocked him back into reality. That's all he needed.
Exactly.
Which the irony that he said what I was gonna say, but he beat me to it, so. Because he was gonna say, you just have to one up me every time, don't you? But
Oh my
They're
God.
childhood friends.
You
Like,
beat me
he's
to
gotta
it.
make a comment, but let's get to the important shit and we can discuss it later.
he just
Everyone face palming and Demira's smiling. Like, oh, how sweet.
Frederick apologizes to Mikau, and obviously lets the other people take over. And Mikau speaks up again, and we had our suspicions that this involved with Nara. Obviously, we were hoping they would honor the treaty that they had. We've always had issues with them before, but hoped nothing would have happened. But we weren't completely caught off guard that it happened. Although, to the extent that what happened, definitely not what we planned for. He gestures to the Shiekah arms that are on the table. Not sure what's going on with this. Do you know anything?
Akari takes a moment to look at it, examining it, and gives off a small nod. I may have a small idea of what's going on, or at least aware of it. She has been doing experiments of sorts, and I suppose it's been with infusing living beings possibly with the Shiekah tech. If anything, then she just thinks about, like, sorry to kind of just throw him out there, but may have an example of that who's with Frederick as well.
Frederick does. That would make sense. That Odo was the one, which I believe we found them out in that area as well. Would make sense. You're saying is true.
Kari gives a light nod and kind of mentions that explains why I had a feeling that Toto may have been connected to that.
Definitely Mikau speaks up again. I'm sorry to ask this, though. You seem to know more than somebody should know. This is probably something that was kept deep under wrap. Why do you, or how do you know this?
Normally, I'll say it falls under my expertise with infiltration in the such. However, my expertise were linked directly to the Shiekah of Inara. I'm no longer affiliated with her or work for her, but at a point of time I did.
Demira stands close to Akari.
You could even say the name Akari to her and she wouldn't even know what that name meant.
You see his brow kind of furrow at your words as he realizes what you're saying is you are literally were part of the people that attacked, technically.
In the past, formally.
Yes. Obviously, with initial attack, something weird about it. Hard for him to get back past the thought.
Akari was the one to deal the killing blow. You don't need to question her alliance. Oh no. Did I die?
You got this.
Here we go. Okay, good. That's a 21.
Nice.
Let's go.
I got a natural 18, otherwise that would have gone badly.
You can see, like, his eyes were initially staring at Akari. His eyes then shift to Demira, who spoke up. And he
Demira
definitely
immediately looks like nervous, like, oh.
definitely kind of, you can tell that he's thinking. but he taking a deep breath or kind of leaning forward on the table. And with his head down for a second, and he's like, want to believe you. Make sure you don't hurt that trust. I will protect my people, so hurt them. You'll have to deal with it. Very sternly at you, Akari, as giving you the benefit of the doubt that saw you helping everybody. It'd be weird for you to be involved with it.
Akari gives a serious look herself and just mentioned, I understand that fully. But as you probably have already saw from the night, if my intentions was anything on Ainara's side or helping that group, I don't think things would have turned out as it did now. Nonetheless, myself being here right now in the aftermath and saying any of that.
It's still just kind of sighs, nods, but
You can even think I would, if anything, I wouldn't have dropped Inara's name. I could have said it was just random Yiga.
that is correct.
But if you ever have a point that you don't trust me, feel free to do what you need to, or for me to get that trust.
Which, at this point, you would notice that because I rolled a second time to see if he still was stealthy enough. You would definitely notice that Kodo was right behind after the second time.
Yeah, what was his stealth the first time?
His first time was a 29.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
He was about to
Give the order,
you
sir.
in front of everyone. Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. I do not doubt that Coda could take out any one of us. Coda final boss confirmed.
The second roll was not as good, so you guys noticed him at that point. Because
He jumps like a startled house cat and moves away from Akari.
What was his second roll?
the second roll was an 18, so the passive insight.
Demira still doesn't notice
I was
him.
gonna say,
Yeah, he beats my passive.
I think the other three...
That doesn't beat Akari's passive.
That didn't beat your... I thought it did. Well,
No, Akari's passive perception is like 25.
Yeah, that's why Akari did
Oh,
notice.
yeah,
You did
Akari
notice,
noticed. Vivra did
Demira
not
does not
notice. Demira
still.
does not notice. Vivra and Demira just like, all right, we're chatting. Why are you guys
Also-
freaking out?
Lumi's got a 20, so she just kind of like jumps.
Yeah. So you noticed.
Where am I in relation to Akari?
I would assume you were probably on the outside. Akari was probably the center of the group. I guess. Well,
Okay, so-
you tell me where you guys were standing. I guess.
How many people notice that he's back there?
Everybody that had observant, basically, or Lumi, who had the 20.
Or Lumi,
So
naturally.
basically, everybody except for
Everyone and
Vivra and
also
Demira.
Lumi. Yep. Well, if you were trying to, so you were trying to hide your arm, so you would have been to
I
the
just can
left
see
of
now.
Vivra slightly. Well, yeah, but
We'll say
I'm trying to figure out.
DM,
stance
quick
now.
question.
What?
I sent you a thing on one of my feeds. Would that have affected that in any way? With that kind of sneaking thing?
Yeah, you would have noticed him then.
Okay, that's what I'm making sure too. Don't get me wrong, Akari wouldn't have like panicked or anything. I just wanted to kind of have her mindset in the right way to know.
You could gather from the situation that you reacting probably would have ended badly for you. So we'll go with that.
Then she have a reason to react. She knows she's truthful.
I know.
Yeah. Velkorin notices, clearly does.
Mhm.
And he's just gonna smile at him from behind, like as they're standing behind Akari. And then just telepathically to him, just say, he is a representative of the forest, so please back off. Or she is the representative of the forest, not he. So please back off.
Velkorin's about to get canceled.
Oh, boo-hoo. Looking at a half-naked man on my screen, I can make the mistake.
There's more than one, too.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say. Only look at one. Which one you looking at?
We'll say you get...
That's Lady Vaxildon and Sir Vexalia. Sheesh.
We'll say you get the side eye from Coda. Did that.
It's just like with like one of those very political smiles that's clearly like this will start more than what you want it to start, so don't.
Except
You don't know that?
I know. That's the thing. And also the king kind of gave him the look to say, nope, don't worry about it. He just kind of stepped back. Well, I'll choose to trust you for now. But the more you can tell about what's happened, the better we can make our plan moving forward.
There is something that I think may be important. There is a mark of corruption on the battlefield that should be researched.
You see that Mikau kind of looks over to Mifa at that point. She nods and speaks up and says, "Where was it at?"
I guess this is where I have to step forward, huh?
If you want to. I was just thinking, I'm
That's
like,
your
I don't know how
choice,
to give
yeah.
directions. I don't live here.
I'm gonna explain. Like, I, as a human being, don't remember the last exact place we fought. The Velkorin was, because it was like 12 hours ago. And it might be in the shape, like, just after explaining where it is, describing that it's red. It has red and black textures all around it, and it spreads quite quickly. It may also be in the shape of an arm.
For no reason.
That's not incriminating at all.
That part is even more. You have everybody's looking at you now, which looks like an arm, and you're missing an arm.
Yeah. Just...
Would hope you would elaborate on that.
Last time I was in the forest speaking to the Deku tree, it requested some help to clear a curse out of the forest. The only way I could move that curse was by attaching it to a body part of my own. Believing with my magic I could keep it in check. He's gonna look over at Demira, as Demira is the reason that it wasn't in check.
What?
Stop dying!
She looks so shocked.
Well, he's gonna like sadly look over at her and then look back at like the table. I was unable to keep it in check, and it was causing issues on the battlefield. During the battle, I had to sever my own arm to remove it from taking over my entire person. To my knowledge, that would probably not have been a good idea. And by the time the fight was done, the arm was already gone. So I'm assuming it used whatever it could to skitter off into the distance somewhere that we could not find it. I'm going to describe what the little scale looks like.
Or I would say Frederick speaks up after, just to vouch for your story, basically, because he was the one that had you do this task. Like, yes, there was some sort of corruption that was affecting the forest. Deku Tree couldn't deal with it personally with the Forest Guardian or himself, so we asked Velkorin to deal with it, since it seemed similar to the magic that he uses. At least we thought it was similar. But obviously, the corruption spread to him, but at least did seem to be removed from the forest way. Arm being gone, that corruption itself gone. You can also see that Mifa was obviously. She had a notepad basically out and was taking notes of what you were saying. Everything, and just kind of nods and looks to her brothers and is like, I'll go check it out right away. See what's going on. Hopefully nothing is going on, considering that's a very important area.
I don't mean to interrupt. There's one more important thing. While the scale not only has a mind of its own, but it wanted the blood of... I can't remember her name.
I don't know.
Rimoya.
If
Akari, what's your mom's
her name?
Ramoya.
The day of the assassin.
I don't know if
Ramoya.
I was gonna
Well,
say,
he asked
I don't
we
know
know about
in
Vivra,
character if
but-
you guys ever heard her name.
Yeah.
But the woman.
Would be
Didn't
after...
I don't remember if you did or not.
Well, then never mind.
Either way.
Akari, now's your chance to speak up and say what your mom's name is. As he pauses in his sentence.
I
Yeah.
don't need her name.
Okay.
Right.
But
The
they
assassin.
wanted the blood
Great
of the beast
improv.
that took
Great
over
improv.
The assassin.
the assassin. Whatever it wanted whatever she was using to get stronger.
Which, speaking of that, Akari takes out the vial that was emptied and drank from and places it on the table. The blood was in that. If you want to try to research it, possibly find any traces of what it was.
We'll say she picks it up and look what you didn't notice it initially when you picked it up. There is a single drop of blood still in the vial.
Oh, hold on. Let me drink that.
Yes.
Nope.
Oh god!
Akari like, oh, she left a bit. Sorry.
Mm. He kind of looks at it. Well, do some testing and figure out what this is. But that's... well, I'll come back to you once I know more. I'll come back once we know more about that.
Please
Oh.
stay in contact with it. May it be through letter or something else.
Kind of brushes off at this point. She's gone. So you said the assassin, and then now they also, so you said the woman changed into something after she drank that vial. What happened with that?
Now, when you say what happened with that, we fought her. You know, took care of her. She's dead.
Roll deception because you're lying.
What? We fought her and she died. How was that lie?
You know what he meant by what happened when she changed. They wanted to know what happened.
Oh, the blood.
Oh, okay. No, I actually didn't know what was that
Okay,
supposed to
sorry.
be implying.
I'm gonna be real honest. I missed it too, so I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Okay, it was implied that when Velkorin
It took me a
said
second.
they wanted the blood, then that changed her.
Well,
monster.
he wanted the blood that changed her.
Yes.
That the scale wanted the blood that changed her.
Yeah, the scale wants to do it.
Yeah.
And then,
now
I guess-
Mika was asking what happened.
What do you mean by it
So-
changed her?
He
Oh,
wants to
okay,
know
okay.
what happened
Yeah.
after she drank the
She
blood.
became a more bestial-like figure in state. Almost seemed berserk, mostly void of any reason. It seemed like it was breaking down her body with it as well. She was very powerful, but over time, the body started to break apart from it and weaken. And that gave the chance to kind of put a permanent end to it versus risking anything else.
See that he's thinking. And then he kind of looks to any of the others that seem to look like they might acknowledge what. Have they heard of anything like that? Or nobody really. Everybody is looking confused, kind of concerned about how this happened. Well, it was good that was dealt with. Just like it was definitely would have been a problem if we had to deal with it. So you guys were there to deal with that.
Akari thinks a bit more as well. And then mentions, I think another important factor with it is it definitely is connected to the blood moon.
We were wondering what was happening too, because as you saw, there were a few people that berserk during once the moon changed. Our biggest question right now is somehow it seemed like they knew a blood moon was going to happen. Used that against, seemed to strengthen them. Used a couple of patrons that you spared, thankfully, were able to pull them down and capture them, and they don't seem to know anything. Fortunately, that the other ones, the assassins that attacked us first, removed their bodies from us looking into. Weird that they either knew the blood moon was coming, or God forbid, I hope this isn't a thing that they controlled the blood moon, forced one to happen.
I was going to say this one seemed different. It didn't end until the final battle.
Definitely was longer than the normal ones.
Most of the time the blood moon comes and goes within minutes. This one lasted for hours. More questions. The lead we have to anything right now. Arm. That seems something unrelated to the arm.
Yeah, I don't think it's anything related to the technology with those arms. Something with the moon affects something in particular individuals. And even a minor effect, she almost seems uneasy mentioning it. Myself to an extent as well, but I wouldn't say I know the exact answers to that. Which she'll say because despite everything, I think despite everything connection with her story and stuff, she actually isn't super aware of actual Bloodshade stuff.
The moon affected you too.
It can at times.
Why didn't you... Well, Blunt, why didn't you go berserk like the others?
Well, like I mentioned, I don't have the answers to that. That I just know that it seems to affect particular individuals for some unknown trait that I don't think is the technology, because as you see, as she moves one of her arms, I don't really have any technology on me.
Also, I think the ring helped this time, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
Do
she's
we
thinking
still
of other
have those?
times. She's thinking of other times, like when she doesn't go berserk in like under Blood Moon as
Sure.
well. So she's aware it affects her and sometimes can be overpowering, but not like the full-on reason. Like she doesn't have the history of what causes that and the full knowledge of that. It's something that just never really came up, or as far as I know, was not discussed with her in details to be known about.
decide on peak substance. So it seems like not only is she using Shiekah experimentation, must be experimenting on humans to make creatures. Like,
Now, when you say creatures, do you just mean the monsters with the tech, or you meant the people who went berserk too?
people.
That's kind of rude. You shouldn't call them creatures.
I apologize. I didn't mean to attend. A
This is the king we're
unknown.
talking to, right?
This is an
Akari
unknown
doesn't
area.
care.
I mean, don't wish to say all that. I was just saying, I'm like, almost she's about to say that though. It's kind of, if that's a common trend, she'll probably speak up. But if you do call the people creatures, I think she would just say they seemed like people despite that happening. Yes.
I just think it's funny that he so easily was like, "Oh yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, man."
Oh shit, yeah, that was inconsiderate. My bad.
Yeah. I like it. I thought that was great.
Because he speaks when he speaks of that is true. I shouldn't refer to it that way because it does seem like once the blood moon is gone, when we interrogated the other people, they seem to have their mind. So hopefully, it's just some sort of effect with the blood moon that affects them. Not something deeper, but again, we're not sure. So until we know, we have to eye on those individuals, unfortunately. Whether or not they're telling us the truth that they're involved or not, sure, but the five that were patrons, that's what they told us. Didn't have any idea what was happening. Fortunate that the actual assassin didn't leave us evidence. Again, Big Cow just kind of sighs and rubs his head for a moment, trying to decide what he wants. Can't really do anything about it yet. We don't have any proof that Inara did it outside of your testimony, basically, but it's just the words of one person to another. We can't really go to war.
Yeah, it's not like I can just project my mind and use that as proof. And
It's surprising with how much magic there is in the world.
If Akari had
That's
like
a big
major illusion, she could.
But then that is like, how do we know this is truth and not made
Yeah,
up? That's
true.
an illusion.
If any of them have detect thoughts, you could
Mhm.
allow them to probe.
Nah,
I
they
was making a joke.
Yeah, it's okay. Akari does agree, nods and agrees. As much as I would like to stop her right away, it wouldn't be the right time yet. So suppose it's one of those, I have to kind of keep an eye out and see what's going on around the land. At least that's my idea. What to personally do is to kind of travel and see what else is going on.
You posed the idea that they might be controlling the moon in some way. I don't know how much faith I have in that, but when it first began, the assassin seemed to be able to give orders to the other ones. In previous blood moons, anything we've encountered seemed to just kind of be going crazy.
Yeah, that is definitely something that was interesting. Some of them were affected by it, some weren't. They seem to be in control. You can see both the brothers are just kind of thinking, trying to figure out what is going on. Why? either way, we're gonna have to figure out some more solid proof that Naro the one who did this before we can act upon it.
Yeah, just stay on guard in the meantime.
How would you even go about looking for proof when everything that we come across disappears?
Hard work. I'll get messages. We could do a prompt that I told him to do.
Did he BRB?
He said it away. He said it a long time ago. Then also typed in chat, so I don't know if he actually left.
Yeah, back now.
Oh, he's
I'm looking
back.
I'm looking at. Okay, sorry.
I was sending you the message because I'm sure you forgot about it because it was from like the first episode, basically.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. And then he's gonna look over. I believe that when we first met Toto, it was said Toto came from some type of lab. And I believe you are going to have somebody investigate it as he looks over at Freddy.
At that point, you can see that the thought clicks in his head. Like, right, the lab. We had found an abandoned.
Ah, yes.
Ah, yes.
Indubitably, my good sir. That thing.
Yep.
The lab with the mechanical stuff. That lab.
Cusco.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cusco's
Yeah,
lab.
Cusco's lab.
No, yeah, it's the
Some-
poison. The poison for Cusco.
It's been so many years. I kind of that. It was something I meant to look into, but that's been almost 2 years now that I kind of lost track of it. Haven't heard much about it. But yeah, that was true. I believe it's basically where we were assumed where Toto was found was from abandoned lab. Somewhere over in the east, but for getting towards Inara's kingdom. And sent a few people to check in on him, that every time we sent someone out, they wouldn't come back. We didn't get much information, but that is some we could look into. But most likely was involved. But let me see if I can get some of my context from what was going on with that lab before we make any moves. We'll progress from the princes both nod at the other prince and says, seems to be our best bet, our best lead as of right now then. But until we hear back from Freddy, we just need to focus on repairing the domain right now, which that is a problem. We're running out of materials, which at this point Mouse, who's been mostly quiet, does speak up, and I don't have a good spot.
Also, he's perpetually sitting.
He's perpetually sitting until we get new artwork for him. Add on for Malice, since he is here now. He is here now. He's been here the whole time. I'm sorry, my brain is not working today. Just as a notice for some people, if they notice the way he's looking, you know that he got wounded from the battle, so he obviously has a bandage around his abdomen. That's a weird one. He had gut because he got slashed in the gut. But he also does have a couple bandages around his hands at this point now too. But he speaks up and says, I do have a potential solution. I don't have any current contacts right now, but the Gorons to the north are pretty close by here. get some materials from them, that would definitely make things easier. Gives that idea to the king slash princess. Mikhail just kind of nods. Definitely be helpful. Something that you can be in charge of. That'd be great. Keep that moving. Obviously, we'll pay for everything. 'Cause it works. We definitely need to repair the domain as fast. And plus, I could just talk to myself. I hate having to do this, but whatever.
Yes, go on with your story, DM. We're listening.
Nice.
We're here.
Malice turns to you guys. This actually would be a perfect opportunity for. We're spread pretty thin out here, but you guys could take care of it. That would be perfect. I could send Lumi, having you in charge of this. Obviously, you have me as your person to vouch for you. Maybe we could open up some relations with Gorons. We don't have anybody over there anyway right now. It would be a perfect opportunity to see if we can open any kind of dialogue with them.
Of course, sir. Anything to help the kingdom and you as well. And she kind of like glances at the rest of the group. Like, are we? Is this a group activity?
No, when Lumi looks over, Akari will smile and nod and mentions, "Be more than happy to come along."
Don't we have other things to do as well? Is this a right now kind of thing?
What else do we have to do really on the list currently?
Nothing that involves all of us.
Wherever you go, I will follow.
Kind of speaks up. Obviously, it will be in your debt if you help us out with this. We already owe you a lot for defending the domain, but this can help. Would it be much appreciated? If there's anything that we can offer for you guys to do this, that would help.
Oh, I have a question. Am I still feeling 2 pulls from Malice, or just 1 now that he doesn't have his weapon?
Just one.
Okay.
Technically feeling 3 because
and then
Esmeralda's
there's
here.
also Esmeralda and Emmy, yeah.
Malice just speaks up. Lumi will go over the details later. I think definitely a top priority for us, and we keep things moving as soon as we can.
Indeed. And as for rewards or anything, whatever you think of possibly helps, unless anybody has an idea of it. Anybody in the group has an idea of what would be suitable as a reward or anything?
Nudge, nudge.
I've been talking.
Lost
I've been
our
muted.
caravan again.
Oh
Uh,
You what?
He was muted while he was talking.
I've been talking this entire time, but there was a train in the background, so I muted.
What were some of the things you said?
Oh, well, one thing I gotta wait to see if I don't know what that means. Does that mean he does it or not?
It means you're influenced.
Okay. That will happen in a second.
No.
I have Velkorin you here in your mind.
For a reward, I believe we could use some magical assistance in fighting. At least some of us can. I'm not sure what would benefit everybody or some people, but at least for now, some sort of magical assistance to make sure we don't get caught with our pants down per se, or we can survive stronger hits. I.e., if we have potions or something to start with, and maybe something we'll discuss what happens and the cost afterwards.
Resources sound good. However, main thing I want to do is make sure the most important thing is for good relations and building bonds, especially to stop those who are trying to bring a threat to people. You know, us as a team, we want to make sure we can help out.
We'll keep those things in mind. And they actually, Maykel kind of looks to Malice specifically and think that this seems like the perfect thing for you, so me and you will have to discuss later, and we can see what we can supply for them. Obviously, we owe them a great debt. Malice kind of nods with a bow, because magic items is his thing. So, as long as somebody's paying for them, he doesn't care. But also, as far as influence and whatnot, once the domain is better repaired, I would like to... Oop. Oop that. That's somebody's...
Just background, I
Just
think.
background, I guess. Once the domain has been repaired, I would like to have an event to celebrate you guys. Obviously, you all are the heroes of this area because of what you did for us. Well, didn't have any reason to, but you did. We are in your debt. We would like to celebrate that for you at some point.
Demira smiles and she's just like looking proudly at the group. Like, she's just got this look on her face of like, you guys did it!
Yay!
You better
Not
include
including
yourself.
Now I'm gonna do his little blurt out thing that he.
It's blurred out.
He's gonna just look at Malice and go. It just kind of forgets that everybody else is here right now.
Velkorin's eyes at the yellow flicker for a half second.
Malice, I'm going to need to speak with you in private after this. There's something I need to discuss that I believe you are the perfect person to help me with.
And see his eyebrow raise for a minute.
And he's just gonna have like a big shit-eating grin on his face the entire time. And then he's gonna remember where he is and go, yes.
Shakes it off. Shakes it off. Of course, my services are open to anyone. So whenever you want, let me know. We will discuss this.
Just after this would be perfect, since we will most likely be leaving soon anyway.
Mikhail kind of speaks up. Is there any other information that you can tell us that you noticed? Anything we can look into? Well, think about it.
Look into anything?
Everything.
Everything?
Everything that we talked about, basically. They're asking if you guys have anything that's you might think is involved, might not. Any other info you can give them is better for them to go
Did
off of.
Velkorin already mention the part where touching that corruption goo made copies of us?
No,
I don't
that's
think
a
that
good
was
point.
mentioned.
That was not mentioned.
Demira will add that in. If you do find any of that corruption, please be careful around it. When Velkorin and I encountered it before, when it touched us, it seemed to create mimics of us.
Probably would
I
have
am not
good information to tell
sure.
my sister before she left.
Oh no.
Well,
Temple looks over and she's like, I got it! And she comes off because she was bored. Runs
Something
off,
to do.
basically. So she runs off.
Tempa runs off, immediately jumps into the goo, and there's more Tempas.
Oh no.
Oh,
The world
no.
ends.
Oh no.
That is a
I get lightning bolted again.
Jeez.
Then somehow Tempa's will like corrupts the corruption, and they're just like, "There's not enough of us for this to be a fair fight." So they just keep poking the goo.
Oh no. Me. And you. Oh god.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway. Good to know. Hopefully Temple will deal with that. Anything else?
Nothing comes to mind about this stuff.
Yeah, nothing for the table that I could think of currently.
Well. While you guys figure out the details with Mouse to go to the Gorons, the Death Mountain, and get supplies, we'll work with Frederick to see what we can figure out about this mysterious lab that he knows about. To return from Death Mountain, we'll move forward from there. Otherwise, we'll get in contact with you sooner if anything happens.
Mm-hmm.
There's lots of work to do, and I'm sure you all are still exhausted. Again, I thank you dearly for everything that you guys put up with while you were here. I am afraid to think what might have happened if you weren't here.
Is there anything else you need from us?
No. Have as much information as we can go on, and I'll have to start to make some extra more moves now. Figure out what we can do with Inara. Definitely seems like she is taking a more active role in trying to remove us. Fortunate. Is what it is. Deal with it eventually.
She wants to control it all.
That we have to do. But anyway, I won't take up more of your time. There's lots to work on here, so unless you have anything else to tell me, you are free to do whatever you need to do.
Demira gives a polite curtsy and sort of steps back.
I think that's everything, so Akari will also politely excuse herself.
Lumi curtsies and backs off.
Therefore, by herself and just awkwardly stands there.
Vivra was thinking, and then she looks up and is like, "Oh, actually, there was a man who wanted to talk to me or something. He was Twili, this tall."
Oh, right. The Duke. Duke.
Oh yeah, Lumi has his.
Lumi pulls out his card and hands it to Vivra. She just did not think that this was something that needed to be broached to.
Well, Vivra was just gonna ask if they knew where he was.
Not sure who you were talking to, but I'm sure if you ask Koda, he could probably track them down for you.
God, he's already working
Maybe the
so
business
hard.
card has it.
His name
It
is
has
Duke.
his name.
Duke
Right.
Importante.
It's Kyrian R.
Did I say Kyrene or did I say Kyrian?
You.
I
Okay.
think that
Are
you
you
said
named
Kyrian, but it's Kyrian
Oh.
in the notes. So it's Kyrian Artis.
Zom named them Kyrian, but then on stream called them Kyrian.
Oh, I've been
Well.
calling him Kyrian.
Yeah.
Everybody's been calling him Kyrian, so go with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
Words are
Vivra
hard.
will say a quick thanks and then back away. She's like, man, everyone just kind of walked off. This is weird. Importante.
Anyway, but yeah, they speak with Koda. We'll see. He most likely would know where he is if he's still around.
Okay. Thank you.
Him and Sidon go back to talking, and you guys are free to leave and do whatever you want. You can see that Esmeralda actually had left a little earlier to catch up with Kempa because he was also getting kind of bored too, probably. So we'll say that he left at the
Wait,
same time.
who?
Esmeralda.
Esmeralda's been
Demira's
gone
like-
this whole time.
Or looks around, tries to find where he went.
Say he left later, but you probably would have caught him as he was leaving.
Did
Or-
I see what direction he left in at
Well,
least?
We'll say he was leaving at the same time as you guys, just because he seems like, oh, it's mostly done. They can talk about their own stuff now. So Frederick and the princes are still talking to each other, basically, trying to figure out more details. But we'll say Esmeralda gets up to leave with you guys.
Demira to the group she looks kind of nervous or like in a hurry to catch up with Esmeralda, and I need to go speak to him about something. I'll catch up later.
Be safe.
Indeed. You know where our room is.
Demira nods.
Lumi's
and-
then gonna hook her arm with Akari's to drag her back because she doesn't want to go by herself.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It'll be easy. Akari will be caught off guard at first, but is easily tracked away.
Everyone's scattering, and Vivra's both thankful and confused.
That's the reason why Lumi grabbed onto Akari. I'm staying with a person.
Like, I will not be separated.
So yeah, Demira hesitates for just a second as she looks to check that the group's okay, and then rushes off to catch up with Esmeralda.
You can see he's just kind of leisurely walking through. We're walking back down to the town. Not really paying attention to anything.
Esmeralda?
Stops in his tracks and turns back to see you.
She curtsies.
Nods. He says, "Can I help you with something?"
Are there a lot of people around?
Generally, yes. Mostly everybody's walking around busy doing something, but there's a lot more people in the area than usual, yes.
Oh, I'm sorry to bother you. Can I speak to you about something privately?
And it gives half mark and need to speak to me about. I think I can arrange that most likely.
I apologize for being so forward. There's something that I think only you can help me with. But please keep it between us.
Kind of chuckle. My lips are sealed. Lead the way.
Okay, well, she'll just go where there's less people, wherever that is.
Go kind of back underneath where the rooms are, basically. Like everybody's kind of out above, so down, kind of where the healing pools and the other in rooms would be. There's much less people, or people aren't paying attention as much down there. Wait. Somewhere more quiet now. Something I can help you with.
This may sound strange, but are the lakes cold at this time of year?
Looks at her confused at the moment. Like, this is not the discussion he was expecting to happen. And just like, suppose they would be, probably. The reservoir is very deep, so I assume it would be cold.
I need you to take me somewhere cold without air.
What the?
He's confused, thinking. Kind of half joking, he says, well, I guess the bottom of the lake would be the closest thing for that.
Demira nods, and she's just so completely sincere and genuine, like. And she sort of just waits for him to lead her there.
He's just like, oh, you're serious? Great. Well.
At this point, she'll switch to telepathy just in case to explain a bit further. There's something at the core of me that it's liquid at warm temperatures, but it solidifies in the cold. However, if it touches the air, it oxidizes, and I need to extract some of it.
Fancy metal that be at the bottom of the lake floor, I guess. Sure. I suppose I can help with that. That shouldn't be too hard.
Thank you. I hoped that you would understand. I don't think my group would approve of this. And none of them are very strong physically. I may need to borrow your strength.
I was about to say, waiting for somebody to be like, hey! Of course.
I was muted for that very reason. I didn't want to interrupt.
Yeah, I don't mind. However I can help. He kind of holds his hand out to lead her to the reservoir.
You have been here for a while, right? Would being underwater hinder your ability to use a weapon?
Definitely not. You see, I kind of live on the sea before I came here, so water is definitely not something that will affect.
Oh, that's perfect. I'm not used to it, so the water resistance may make it difficult for me to deliver a strong blow.
For a strong blow.
No.
in his mind now, he's like, let me be frank. What is you need me to do here?
I will need you to pierce me.
Eyebrow raise. Elaborate, please.
I need to... I'm sorry, it's strange. I need to extract this material. I believe it's... Has anyone told me what it's called? She knows how it works,
Yeah,
but I
and
don't know if
Lumi...
she knows what it's called.
Lumi knows what it
Oh.
was, but I don't know if you talked to each other about it.
No, Lumi has not shared
Okay.
information.
So you probably don't know the name of the material yet.
Okay. This material at my core, I need to extract some of it, but it is only at the core, and so I can only access it. Well, I have to... I'm not sure how to explain it.
Kind of the irony of that. in your head, you hear him chuckle. He's like, all right, this is more clarification than I was interpreting, so that's a good thing. But it is odd. So you say you have some sort of material inside of you. You really are a unique weapon, aren't you?
I suppose, but you're made entirely of gold, so it would not be odd for me to have some gold, right?
Yes, but I don't
Yeah, do you not bleed?
You are saying
well, it's not blood.
For lack of a better term, you're saying you bleed, basically.
It's not blood.
I know it's not
I don't
blood, but
bleed.
there isn't another term for a liquid leaving your body that doesn't make sense. That isn't inappropriate. Which you can see his mind is like confused, and he's trying not to be too crass.
But you don't mind helping me?
If it's something you need help with, I will do what I can to help whatever you need. Don't mind.
Okay, and then if they're at the lake, she's gonna take off the big sweater and like take off all those winter clothes and just start walking to the bottom of the lake with him.
As soon as she started taking her clothes off, he was like, right. She's always like this. Like, he got confused again for half a second. He's like, I feel that...
He's a weapon spirit too!
Yes, but he wears clothes.
Well,
most of the time.
he has things.
But he's like, he kind of shrugs and chuckles a bit, but he jumps in after her. Follows her down as you guys go deeper and deeper. And you can feel the temperature get cooler and cooler as you go deeper and deeper and deeper into the water. You guys get to a well, to be blunt, we'll say it's probably a good 100 to 200 feet down into the water as you start to get to where the lake bottoms out.
Okay, and then...
This is probably deep enough here.
Okay, whenever you're ready. You don't have to roleplay the whole thing, but I need him to basically create a wound deep enough to get the aurelium from inside of her. And since it's cold and there's no air, it should be solidified with no risk of oxidizing.
Correct. Dice. Oh. Do a thing for this. Yeah. Crap.
I have some small amount to manipulate parts of my materials, but I can't reach that deep inside.
Alright, well, yes, I will be. He's like, I need to stab you, to be blunt. So we.
Yes, exactly.
Like, he's very confused about this, but he's going with it because that's whatever. He doesn't mind that much. It takes out his sword. God damn it! I'm trying to say this without making this be as awkward as possible, but it is what it is. He's like, he'll just be like,
"This is the most awkward conversation."
Tell me about it. We'll say he puts his tip of the. God damn it! I can't fucking.
He impales her. There's something.
He does the thing that she wants her to do, and then
she will also cast Bless on both of them, so
Okay.
he can add a d4 to his attack roll.
All right, whenever you're ready, ma'am, I will do the thing you want me to do.
I'm ready.
Nah, euphemism. Shut up. All right, so punctures you quickly, and then takes his blade back out. Take 5 points of damage.
Did he hit?
Did he hit? You're letting him hit you, so yes.
Yeah. 5 points of damage, that's it?
Demira starts dodging. Sorry, force of habit.
He's not trying to hurt you that much. He's trying to do it as quickly as
Oh,
possible.
that's literally the point. Is it not?
Yes, but he needs to. He knows it needs to be
You're not
hard enough.
gonna. You're not gonna impale someone with 5 damage.
Yeah.
But you're the DM, so you tell me.
Why are you
Yes.
asking for more damage?
Why do you want me to hurt you more? I'll add the modifier. I forgot to add the modifier to it, so technically it was. Yeah, so it would be 10 more.
Okay, and then does that work? Is that enough to get Aurelium out?
Yes, it is a.
Oops.
The way they're trying to do it purposefully, it's different than just trying to slice your stabs. Whatever.
Okay.
It pierces your skin, able to get deep enough to get the Aurelium. And as he before he takes the blade out, he just says, "Are you ready?"
Yes.
Pulls the blade out, and you start bleeding your blood, your
No,
gold blood.
It's solid. Remember?
It's solid. Right.
Yeah, because
Well,
that's the whole
inside
point.
you it was, and then as soon as it gets into the water, it's solidified.
No, because it's cold.
Yeah,
That's
but
the point.
inside
It
of you
only
is.
liquefies at room temperature.
So inside of you is warm. When it comes out of you, it solidifies and goes into the water.
Okay.
That's what
Am
I
I
mean.
warm? Okay.
Yes.
Lore. Lore
Okay.
drop.
That actually makes it a little easier than I thought then.
You were gonna just reach in and try to pull out a brick of this stuff?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what she was
Basically.
going to do.
Not a brick, but a small amount.
He just kind of waits for you to do your thing.
Okay, so yeah, she'll collect some of it, just a small amount, and she'll use her second wind or something to get health back.
When he sees that you're done, he'll put the hand over the wound, and you can see his hand close.
Oh, good.
And he'll
Thank
just
you.
use lay of hands to heal it back.
And then so she has to keep it protected, so she'll chip off some pieces of the like pearl material, osmium material, and the aquamarine, and she'll manipulate it a little bit to encase the Aurelium in like a ring shape made from her own metal.
Okay.
And it's a little rough, but then she'll refine it later above sea level.
Above water level.
Thank you. I'm
Okay.
sorry for
No.
inconveniencing you.
No inconvenience for me. Although, I'll make this easier for you since I'm assuming you can't move in the water as well as I can. Yes, after she's got the ring in her hand, basically kind of just grabs her and can't remember what the spell name is, but it's something that moves along the tides, basically, so he can move through water pretty easily because he's also technically has a mariner's outfit, so he swims up the top for you, basically. You guys get out with no issue, gets back out to the water. Out to the water. You don't know what's happening. Anyways. Alright, so you are back at the docks. After being stabbed.
She's fine.
She's fine.
Okay, she'll recollect her clothes and stuff, and how much did I heal for? Does it matter, or am I just back to full?
Doesn't matter anymore. Because the thing that it does.
Right.
Oh.
Okay. So she'll sort of pick up her clothes and like curtsy to him again, and she keeps kind of apologizing a little bit, like.
And smiles and says, "Happy to help. This is definitely a first time when somebody asked me to impale them. That's what they actually meant. But okay."
Oh god.
Holy smokes.
And please don't tell anyone.
Kinda gives a smile and says, "My lips are sealed."
I knew that you would understand. since you're also a weapon spirit. Thank you.
Sure. He nods and let's do whatever she needs to do.
Yeah, she'll put her clothes back on. It'll be a little wet, I guess. And then she's gonna go look for,
While she's
Yeah.
been doing all this, what have the rest of the group been doing? Well, Demira's been getting
Been doing
impaled. What else have you guys been doing?
I would have been talking to Malice right after he left, right after we walked out.
That will work out. Did you want to speak to him privately, or
Well,
otherwise it would
the
make
rest of
sense
the group
for?
isn't around us, right?
I was gonna say it would make sense that Lumi would be there too, because they were gonna talk about it. So talk about the quest. So if you want to be private, then they
Well, Lumi took Akari back to the room.
right. That is true. I did forget about that.
So we have until point A to point B to get.
Got it. So we'll say you are alone with Malice.
Yes.
Now we
Yeah,
can-
Lumi would definitely leave Velkorin alone with her boss because they are too much alike for her to interfere in whatever is happening there.
After you guys obviously walk down to the main area again, so that you're not in the war room, basically. So you need something from me.
You are the only there's two people that I think might have this item. You are the most likely of the two. I need a. This is still under the influence, so he's just gonna fucking battle. So everybody knows he's still under the influence. He's still on that high.
He's being influenced
High
by
on
a
chaos.
I need a very specific item. I need an item that is probably a ring that somebody can wear, and if they were to shapeshift, it would still stay on their person. And the ability it has allows them to change their clothes at will, so they don't have to carry a garbage bag of clothes around.
I have disguised self.
So you
This guy's self only works for an hour.
So you just
But I can do it over and over again.
need a ring
Something
to
that
store.
is like what they would have worn at the party, where all of them had that magical. Like it just changes what they're wearing, essentially.
So, is this? Are you looking more for a ring of storage, similar to like a bag of holding, or is it more just? Yeah, I need details. And figure out a price going forward from there.
Probably something to store either to store all of their clothes, as they are going to keep getting more and more, I am assuming. But if something they could just wear it, and it would make sure that they don't lose all their clothes every time they transform.
This for the druid, I assume.
No, it is for it is for someone else.
You did say shapeshift, and I was like, what did I do now? And then you kept
I am
talking,
sure
I was
you
like,
understand how weapon spheres work.
That's. That makes sense.
It's hard enough to get her to wear clothes, let alone wear them and not complain that they're going to fall off the moment she changes.
I'm wearing so many clothes today.
Hey, yeah, you're like a freaking just a puffball from like. Which is probably. Wait, did you take off your stuff before you went swimming? I
Yes.
was.
Yes, I
Yes.
did.
Okay, I was about to say you were gonna be heavy.
Yeah. That's not too hard of an item to make. I suppose I could do that. Essentially, you need a portable wardrobe, is what you're asking.
Yes.
It's relatively simple. I can do that. We might
Is
actually
there
have
any way to expedite it or have it before we leave?
Let me go talk to my people, see if we have anything in storage. If not, I could probably make something up quick, but it'll cost you.
How much are you thinking?
Oh, you weren't supposed to give me numbers. But
Yeah, give me some numbers. Give me some numbers. I don't have this anymore. I can remove this from my inventory.
Say, we'll just say 1,000 red rupees.
That's gold, right?
1,000
Yes,
gold, yeah.
1,000 gold. You supply
Alrighty,
unless you have a ring to supply me with.
A
And I
ring
can-
to supply you
And
with.
I can do the enchantment myself. Otherwise, I'll cut that in half if you have a ring you help use.
I don't have a ring myself, but I do have
You have.
1,000 gold.
Work for me.
I will pay you in one payment plan of 1,000
Oh
gold.
my god, that's so expensive.
Like, are you all right?
Just gonna sit there and stare at him and just acknowledge that I don't know what's going on.
Are his eyes still different? Like, wow,
No, they
this
did-
is happening?
It's just
for a second.
It flickers.
flickers for
Okay.
like a half second. Unless he's obviously in a high emotional state where it's
I am
affecting him.
trying to be more honest with myself and how I'm feeling and who I am feeling things towards. It is a hard step. But as I am not allowed to currently deny any thought popping into his head, that is what he says.
like
Malice is like, whoa.
like very confused by the his sudden just
But I put my
confession.
one hand on his shoulder. Just like head down, like how like you just like do it when you're exhausted, head down, and then look him dead in the eyes.
Try to give me the smolder.
Yes, the blue magnum.
Blue steel.
Blue steel, yeah.
Yes.
I couldn't remember what it's called. It's been so long since I've seen Zoolander, man.
Jesus.
It would appear that a little chaotic demon is having their fun right now.
Holy smokes.
All right. What about the other
But
thing?
I
you
will.
need?
I will give him. I'll just give him the 1,000 gold because that way I don't have to remember to get rid of it later.
He's very confused. You said you had another thing you needed too, though. Or did I just hear
It was
something?
if this you couldn't do this. It was.
Oh.
That way.
Yes. Relatively simple.
What do you mean I can't remove that? Oh, that's because I put him in the wrong spot. Because freaking, for some reason, Electrum is still a currency. All right,
You don't
guys,
want
that
to
was all but 80 of my gold.
Oh my god, that's too much.
Insanity.
Yeah.
He's not in the
We're
mindset.
close.
He is
Oh,
not
no.
in the mindset
an impulse
to
spender now.
negotiate. It's impulse.
Yep. He just kind of smirks and takes your gold and says, "All right, give me till the end of the day. I'll have it ready for you. If not, I'll have somebody send it over to you."
Thank you. And now, if you excuse me, I see a man over there about to yell at me for misplacing an arm. He's gonna walk towards Freddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zom, do you want to give the players and viewers like a brief description of what's going on here with Velkorin's deity and stuff? Since it hasn't really been said above table.
Yeah. The TLDR is Majora, since he has accepted the influence and now being more influenced by it, randomly, when I choose, basically, he will act impulsively or chaotic, basically. So if he's doing an action, whatever, if he's doing anything, I'll basically tell him to elaborate or be impulsive, whatever. And that's the god of chaos messing with it and influencing it. So I'm not going to do it every session, but if it comes up, only at most I will do it once a session, but it won't necessarily come up every session. But basically, basically it's the god is influencing him to be more impulsive and chaotic, because that's what the god is. So. But now that you are done speaking with Malice, you see a grumpy Frederick waiting for you to get over to him now. And is just... So, you cut your arm off. Why?
I did. It was the only way at the time to stop the corruption.
Always gotta one-up me, don't you?
I mean, I'm gonna use a spell slot
Uh-oh.
to get my arm back.
Get your arm back.
Yeah, because that's what it costs right now, right? When I'm not in combat.
I guess that'll work. That's not how I intended, but we'll do that.
It's just to show him that I can get it back, right? So,
Which
so
that's
he's not.
how you do the thing. And your
Yeah.
shadowy gray arm comes out, and he's like, "What? Ha?
This part stays between us, and then it just fades back, like disappears.
What are you involved with that you haven't been telling me?"
I can explain more once all of this chaos is done. But just
We're
know
done
I am
with you.
doing what needs to be done.
He's very... It's like, this man causes him stress all the time, because it's like, first you disappear for a year and a half, then you come back and you cut your arm off, and now you're telling me you got something going on and you got a shadow magic arm, and also you're the leader of a secret organization that he didn't tell me about.
He's gonna quickly just grab over his face or his mouth. Like, how just... We're still in public.
Right.
Which I'm, 2 feet taller than him?
Yeah, at least.
So my hand is probably, like, engulfing his entire face.
Pretty much, yeah.
It looks very violent to anybody that's not us.
Yeah.
That's... None of that.
None of that as he gestures to your arm that's missing. I guess as long as you're fine, that's what matters. You're not supposedly dead this time.
I don't mean to change the subject, but I have a question for you.
Dead.
Let's say, perchance, and he's gonna start walking, like having them walk. You. How do I word this? He's just gonna sit there and keep thinking as they're walking.
I word this by speaking word. He's waiting for you to talk.
I'm not great with these kind of things.
What are those things?
Have you noticed that, I have been brought to, it has come to my attention that I am with currently some very interesting women.
His eyebrow raises like, you're just noticing that.
Let's give him like a side eye.
Yep, that checks out.
May need more help in learning how to not get myself stabbed. As I have come to realize certain things. If your sister was here, this would be a lot easier.
That's true. was about to say, do I need to?
How?
Do
How
I
do
need
my
to send
emotion-
Pippin as a chaperone again?
No, it's.
Somebody
How
who is
does
so collect-
one normally understand if they have feelings for somebody?
So it's like, am I seriously having this conversation with this grown ass man? He's literally asking me, what is love? And he's just like,
He's literally the strictest person Freddy knows, so this is very on brand.
he just like, Frederick's like, if I can answer this, we're fucking. He's just like, easiest way for me to answer that question is when you know, you'll know.
That is the least helpful way you could have answered that question.
Yep.
And I am just that much more confused.
The easiest thing is that you. He's like, you're asking the wrong person, man. But
That's why it's like his sister would have been great.
well, she's busy. No. How many women am I allowed to date? Get out of here.
Oh, wait. Right. Royalty can date multiple women, correct?
He just is like,
You know who might be able to answer this?
I'm sure Vivra would be the great answer to this.
What?
I was gonna say Akari. He's gonna pat him on the back and walk
Oh my
faster
God.
towards
He
the room.
sarcastically answers.
Oh no.
Vibra's the opposite. She falls too fast and then sabotages herself.
Don't ask anyone in this group. None of them can give you a good answer.
He just the actual answer is he's like, well, you have 4 women in your party. I'm sure one of them probably can tell you what love is. Because he's
Bold
just
of him
being
to think that.
he's just being blunt about it now at this point.
Bold of you to assume. Now, come on.
Yes, that's cool.
I believe it'll just take more investigation to figure out what this is. Remind me to punch Eli next time I see him.
What's going on with you? You're acting a little strange today. Not too out of character, but
I wish I knew. As like internally, he's just fucking screaming. like,
this is his. You see the floating
this is
third
his
person
nightmare.
Velkorin just going, ah! Right now.
This is his freaking
The anime
nightmare.
ghost coming out of his mouth.
Yep, exactly. All right. Well, those 2 are heading back. What about the other 3?
I'm gonna say that's enough impulse for him to not have.
Yeah,
impulse
you're
for a
probably
while.
back to normal at this
That was
point.
extra credit, I think.
Yeah.
How do you know? I don't know. Go ask your
How
party.
does one
No,
know
don't
if
ask your
this-
party. We're all bad. We're terrible.
All right, so Demira's getting stabbed. Velkorin's asking for relationship advice. What about the other 3?
I'm looking at the business card and being like, how do I find
It
this
would
guy?
have like an address and
You can send
contact
him-
information on how
yeah.
you would send him a letter.
I
Basically,
see. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she looks at that and she's like, okay, great. So this is not useful for right now.
he did mention that he is also very busy, so he might not be
Yeah,
still here.
might not be around. That's what she's kind of figuring. So I think Vivra would wander around for a little while, and if she didn't find Coda or that guy, she would eventually probably just be like, well, I guess I'll go write another letter. Yep.
What about Akari and Lumi then?
That is a very good question.
They're walking back hand in hand, arm in arm, as they awkwardly walk away from everybody else.
Yeah, and if it's to the room,
Yeah, they were going back to the room. Or wherever they so were inclined to go.
Yeah, can we consider they still got 1 point of exhaustion? It's like, where can you go to relax?
The healing pod, healing pools. There's plenty of other things you could do around town. Even though it is, there are certain, like, obviously the main, like, shop would probably still be open in the central area there. Even though there is a lot of damage of stuff going wrong, obviously. Every business is running as usual, it's just everything's damaged, so people are being careful and preparing.
So Lumi would float to Akari. Do you think that we could stop at one of the shops? I just wanted to check on something. If an idea that I had was possible.
We can absolutely go to one of the shops, especially if you have an idea. What's the idea, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, the lesser blue potions were quite useful, but I do know that they run on the more expensive side. I was hoping that between me, Demira, Vivra, even yourself, we might be able to acquire the items necessary for a potion master to create them at a reduced cost. I mean, after all, if someone produces materials for even Malice, he tends to knock the price down a touch.
She gives a nod while listening, taking in the information, and just mentions, yeah, that makes sense. I'd assume you get rid of the labor, take care of it for them. That's already a lot of time off their hands, and they reimburse you for it, as they say.
Quite right.
Yeah, let's go to the store. After all, I was gonna ask, what do you like to do during your free time? As we have plenty of time to burn while trying to still recover.
Oh, I tend to just play my music and read, actually. I'm quite an avid. I quite like romance novels, would you believe it?
You don't say. If you have some you like, perhaps you could recommend some books, or especially the ones that your favorite ones to me.
You know, I do believe there are quite a couple of lovely ones, but I think that my favorite one, by and far, has to be... Give Nibby 2 seconds to scroll down the list.
My Bloody Valentine.
Oh, God.
Foray in the Forest is
Amazing.
actually one of my favorites.
I'll have to give that a read for sure. The latest ones I've been reading are kind of the more adventure and journeying books, which had me realize we definitely should be known as a group or team name or something.
Meanwhile, she's actually reading How Do I Make Friends? That's the book she's reading.
That's another book that was from a while back.
Velkorin peeks over her shoulder like, oh yeah, I need to read this one too. Do you have any more manuals on talking to people?
Yeah. How does one word?
That was one word. I don't know. I couldn't
No,
tell you.
I'm playing a bard and I don't know how to word.
I know. Anyways, I interrupted. Go ahead.
You just gotta finesse it.
So Lumi is going to drag Akari over to one of the shops and find out about potion making. If the lovely DM could give me some.
We'll see you.
Oh my god, they're on a date.
They get dragged over to a shop, a general shop. There's a green stingray-looking Zora that's there. Nods as they come in. The Just we'll above table this unless you want to RP it. We can, otherwise.
Yeah.
whatever
No,
works for
above
you guys.
table's fine.
All right, we'll do that. I'll do that after. Say that, but we'll say what is your goal and which potions are you trying to get and how many of?
Lesser blue potion. I would like to get. Okay, Velkorin. Do I need to count Velkorin for magic now?
Also remember that those potions have to go into a magic bottle, so I
Yes.
believe everybody except Demira has 2. At least 2.
2.
Yes. I definitely have at least 2. So I would like to try and get 4 lesser blue potions made.
We're making them raw with no materials. I believe they're 1,000 apiece.
Alright.
I remember it's in shipping. Yeah, it'd be, if you're just saying make me the potion, it'll be 1,000 apiece. You have some materials for it, and it can be a discount depending on how many materials you guys have and whatever.
Okay.
But-
So DM, let me know what materials I'll need to work on collecting.
Actually, some are crafting section there. The magic mushrooms are the primary one for. You don't have a book on magic mushrooms yet. But
Well, golly gee whiz.
golly gee
Can
whiz.
Lumi purchase a book on magic
Oh.
mushrooms?
Hey,
Sounds like another
please.
buy.
Looks like you
Say,
guys.
all you gotta do is bite them.
Oh, so you're gonna go look for.
No, we are not going to trial and error the magic mushrooms.
No.
Oh
That's-
man.
Someone
That's
has,
why-
That's why the book exists.
That's the reason why if
How do we
Lumi,
know it's
once Lumi is told what she needs to collect, she will ask for a book on the plants so that she can make
Plants,
sure we get the
alright.
right ones.
We'll
Yep.
say.
I mean, you can test any one of them at least once.
We'll say you're looking for. Nope, don't do that. Interrupted. Nope. So you're looking for a book on herbalism, basically. So you guys already have the flower one. So say the. It should be like roots and mushroom. Perfect thing that you're looking for would be the next book. That'll be. What is it? Say 100 gold or red rupees.
Perfect. All right.
I'll have to
So-
write that. Say that you have that, and then I'll add that to our crafting list after session.
All right. Took the money out of my account. Put Roots and Mushrooms book in my notes.
Add that craft. Later time. Don't have it ready. Anyway, all right. You guys are shopping. Is there any other?
What kind of things are around the shop?
It's mostly a general store, so they have the general basic, like lesser potions. They probably have a lot of fish to sale. They probably have
Okay.
some of the other crafting materials too, as far as
Okay, it's okay. If they're not stopped, Gigi is gonna, while during all that exchange, Gigi's looking around and sniffing around the different things. Not touching it though.
fair enough. GG is getting in it, but not really. That's
Behaving very well, actually.
yes, sniffing. Excuse me. All right. So though you're shopping, we'll say after, unless there's anything else you guys want to do, we'll say that you guys are progressing to later in the evening when you guys all meet back up to the main inn or whatever. Your room.
Yeah, Demira will be back in our kind of gazebo room thingy, and she's created a little thing of smithing tools and jeweler's tools, and she's just refining that ring and also kind of using her like body manipulation kind of ability, since it's her own material, to help shape it and stuff. Mhm.
What about the rest?
Once
Mhm.
they're done with the shopping, Lumi will probably drop Akari off at the room and then go and try and find Malice to talk to him about what
yeah, the
they
job.
need to discuss.
Mhm.
Because she assumes that Velkorin should be done with him by now.
I'd be back at the room. I'd be, because you guys would go shopping and stuff. I'd be at the room before you would.
Okay. So yeah, once she sees that Velkorin is back there, she'll go and find
Oh,
Malice.
just like, peace.
Akari would offer if she wants her to come with her or not.
Not right now, but I do appreciate it.
She gives a thumbs up and just stays at the room. So we have Demira and Velkorin in the room.
And if ready.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Vivra, you at the room
Well,
writing a letter too?
Well, I mean,
Unless
I feel like the letter doesn't take hours to write, but
I-
I mean,
unless you're doing
she wrote it at some point. I'm not sure what else she would do aside from maybe
turn into a fish, swim in the lake.
part of me wants her to do stuff, and the other part of me is like, but what would she do at this point? Everyone else is busy, and she doesn't want to bug people. And she doesn't want to go looking for Eli. She's like, Eli's gonna find us regardless for these letters. So
Don't worry.
I sense someone wants to mail something.
Don't worry, you have two in the room already. One's crafting, the other one's chilling. Kari's here.
Yeah.
You're not alone with Velkorin, Vivra.
Unless you want
Fair.
to
Fair. Whoa.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? I have an
Jaxi,
idea.
a ring for goodness gracious. Y'all jump into conclusions.
Okay, hold on. I have an idea actually. Once Akari
Uh-oh.
returns to the room, after her with Lumi and stuff, it knows who's in the room because it'll be everybody else but Lumi now, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
That-
So remembering something that was mentioned at the meeting, Akari would approach Vivra and ask, "Hey, Vivra, I have a question for you."
She closes the book she was probably reading at that point and says, I might have an answer. What's the question?
What was the thing that you were mentioning that there may be other things to do, but not with everybody? Maybe it can be something we can all work. Maybe it goes along the path towards whatever jobs we take.
I don't think it does at this point.
We'll never know unless we, I guess, know what it is.
It was two things. One was I've learned where one of my other brothers might be, and I was hoping to eventually make my way there to make sure that they're safe, because I have reason to believe that they aren't. And the other was from... You didn't really visit the orphanage much in Lon Lon, right? Wasn't really your... No. One of the kids there experienced a magical phenomenon, and I'm wondering if it has to do with the caretaker that disappeared. And the longer we wait to check on that, the more I worry that it might happen again, but worse.
So the child had a magical phenomenon, and you think it's from a missing person that caused it?
I don't know if it is. I might be jumping to conclusions. But they said that it happened in the headmaster's office. And that doesn't seem normal. To me, at least. I don't know why it would happen in such a specific location.
Yeah, then the person's missing, so it's not like they could cast a spell on them to cause it.
They've been missing since before we disappeared.
Very interesting. I'm sure Lon will be visited again. And then we may head in a direction that can have your brother checked in too. Where are they being kept?
From what I've heard, my brother's with Midna. DM, what direction was that?
Southeast.
And it's to the south, which is the opposite direction of the place that you all want to go at right now.
DM, would Akari be aware of the Twili state of things?
I mean, we went through the Twili controlled city, didn't we?
Yeah, but like, would she know about like the whole Midna and Zan thing like that much before things like that, or would it be more so? Not as
you probably have the general knowledge of, like I said, it's at the time of when you guys experienced it. Obviously, it wasn't as developed, but you would know at least that there are two factions of Twili. It typically is the Midna aligned, which is the ones that want to join the White Light Worlders without taking over and whatever. Basically, peacefully, they want to reintroduce themselves back into the world of light. Whereas the Zant apologists, whatever, are basically saying this is our land by birthright. We already owned here. You guys got rid of us, so we're taking it back. So one is more obviously much more aggressive than the other.
Yeah, one isn't aggressive at all.
But has to be because of the land.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But, well, while we may have a mission to kind of help rebuild here, who's to say we won't go south? Because with the whole Inara thing, honestly, I'm in the belief that we probably should check the state of all regions, because she wouldn't just stop at one simple region. She'll want it all. So there's going to be effects everywhere else. So it will most likely take us all over the lands of Hyrule.
But if we're searching for her specifically and we don't know where she is yet, shouldn't we try to hone that in before just running off in a direction just because I might want to go that way?
Well, we know Inara's in her kingdom most likely. What we need is proof of her activities, which can be anywhere. So right now we have this mission, but who's to say we won't have something else that takes us south eventually too? We just gotta kind of go see how it goes as we play year by year. If nothing else does come out, who says we can't go south to find out what's going on there? We were in the desert and we never hit that Royal's kingdom.
Heck.
Yeah. What if we're too late by the time we go?
This is happening in the room, right?
Yep.
I was just about to ask that. Yeah.
Yep,
like, so
this is
why
all
we'll
in the
hear
room.
it,
Yep.
right?
Why don't we do this? Is he gonna sit up? I'm assuming he's just laying in bed.
He was starfishing in bed and decided to sit up.
I forgot he was there, and I'm like, oh.
I can send some scouts north. That way we're not walking into something completely blind. And while they scout, we can travel south. That way we can check on your family, and we're still doing our mission that we have from the king.
You would do that?
I've seen enough families be torn apart. I don't think we need to see more.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I think the only one who knows about his family is Demira right now, right?
Vivra knows because she's seen into his mind.
Yeah, okay, so
Yeah,
both
that
of
one time.
Yeah, so that's why when he says that she's like I can't say
But he
anything
doesn't know
back,
that
but
she knows.
Yeah.
I know.
The only one he knows that knows is Demira.
Uh,
And plus, we couldn't save your other brother. So we can definitely try to save this one.
how dare you, DM? Eli peeks around the corner. It's like, I'm gonna freaking beat this guy
Eli
up.
creeps around. You don't even know if he's not dead.
Excuse me,
punches Eli.
Velkorin. I need to go kill your informant. No.
You'd already be like
Well-
pinned to the ground, just getting punched in the face.
So while the suggestion and everything was brought up, Akari was kind of thinking for a moment, closed her eyes, rubbing the bottom of her chin, and kind of thought like, all right, if you have scouts you can send, why not have them check the status of the Midna thing, because they could probably get there faster than us right now. We finished the Goron mission we got from the king, so they get their materials, since that's from Malice and the king as well. And then if your scout can confirm where the Midna place is, we can perhaps check on there to make sure nobody's hurt or in danger, especially. And if they are in any trouble, your scouts could possibly help them.
What if they get intercepted, or like they have an encounter that Okoku, like when Okoku had, and
If they're scouts, they probably have good stealth and infiltration skills.
so did
Speaking from personal
Okoku.
experience. She didn't seem like the kind of sneak in and stab somebody in the back type to me, to put it lightly.
I think I
I'm
have
not
the
saying
perfect
she always.
person in mind. I'm gonna write a letter. So we're gonna just so we're all on the same page before I write this letter. We're gonna go north, and I'm gonna send scouts south instead.
Yeah, because Lumi has to do something. We're still on the job of helping the Zora domain, so we're supposed to go get some supplies to rebuild real quick.
Okay.
Right,
then-
Lumi's
yeah.
required to go that way.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we
So-
don't want to split.
Okay.
I will write a letter.
If that's explained to Vivra, then she'd eventually like acquiesce at that point.
I'll write a letter stating to send some people south to investigate what needs to be investigated while we travel north. And I will send the lady where we got the black chicken from. Violet, thank you. And then whoever would be like the best partner that she would have worked together with. That way we have somebody that the group can trust, and the group knows, and then whoever would be stealthier or better positioned to get them out. That way they're not alone down there.
You have
I will have to go through the list.
I have to go
'cause
through
it's-
your list,
Yeah.
people.
But nobody will be going down by themselves this time, so that way what happened to Okoku won't happen again.
If they are going, are they able to take this letter for my brother if they happen upon him?
I will grab it and I will seal it within my letter. That way, I'll just write this has to travel with, and in case they find. I need a description. And you can't say Twili because that's not a description.
Oh man, he was. Gosh, which one was he? I know that he wears glasses, and I believe he's the one with orange hair, and it's short. Usually has like.
Which one? Your brothers?
She would
Yeah, it's
describe
Karn.
Karn to Velkorin.
Okay, and then he would write it down to the best of his abilities, and say that this letter needs to be delivered, if found. Oh, and the letter I'm just because, I'm gonna put in the letter that Eli has to deliver weekly updates.
Oh my gosh.
So Eli's going to be bothering you once a week.
I'm gonna make him work for what he's done.
Work for what he's done. He's been taking care of your fucking company while you were quote unquote dead for a year and a half.
But I wasn't dead, now was I? Was in Sweden laundering money.
All right, well, you guys are doing that. Lumi obviously catches up with Malice finally. That close to the end here. Oh, we'll see that Malice had just kind of, well, after he had helped with Velkorin's thing that he was looking for, and then he's kind of been speaking to other people. So at some point, Lumi, you find him off talking to somebody. Unimportant people, quote unquote.
Lumi does a little curtsy. Master Malice, if I could bother you for a moment of your time.
Never a bother for me, Lumino. Obviously, we have business to talk, so let's done with that.
Yes.
That leads you off to a more secluded area where it's not as noisy. First off, I guess, are you doing all right after everything that has been going on, obviously?
Her expression flickers. She looks down to the side. And she debates on telling the truth for like half a second. And then she brings her head back up and she smiles and she says, "Of course, sir. It is nothing that I can't handle. It is a lot, but I will always have an exit route if necessary."
Looks at you for a second and is aware that you're not telling him everything because obviously his insight is gross.
Yeah.
But also doesn't want or need to pry. He understands what you're capable of. Believes that you're capable of whatever you need to do. Like, all right, as long as you are safe.
That is, of course, the main priority.
You always have the ways to contact. Something goes wrong. So, I think there'll be any issues, but there are. I'll get in contact with you, but I can get away.
I appreciate it, sir. But the Gorons is where we will be heading, correct?
Correct. We'll be heading up to Death Mountain. Just obviously, this is a active volcano that you will be going to, so that's a concern. Not that it has erupted in many, many, many years. We don't think it is technically an active volcano, but it's not that. I don't think we'll have an issue there. The Gorons are very friendly, or they should be. But they are also somebody that we haven't had much contact with. So it would be a good way to kind of stretch our legs into. There is also the ever-burning forest that is on the northern end of Death Mountain. That has the Koroks theirs. That's where the Gorons get the ever-burning charcoal. That is definitely something I would like to get involved in. This might be a little thing that we can get started on and branch out from there. Definitely an important request on top of, obviously, helping the Zora with what's going on now. I would like to put you in charge of this, and you're the bring, obviously, to keep an eye on the group as well.
Indeed, of course. I did note one thing new about Demira that might be of note to you. Obviously, we cannot endanger one of the party members, but it appeared that she was bleeding, and she was bleeding Aurelium. It was rather strange.
Well, that definitely, for the lack of a better phrasing, increases her value quite a bit. Probably something to keep an eye on. Obviously, make sure you're careful around her if she does bleed, because you know how Aurelium affects people. Whether or not the group knows, make sure they are taking precautions when they're around her.
Oh, heavens. I did not even think of that. I will have to inform them when I return to the room. That could be quite dangerous.
Definitely don't want any Aurelium madness be spreading within the unique people that are in this group. He kind of gives a half smirk.
Unique is certainly a word for them. Did you know about the Inara connection?
He had some suspicion based on a different party member that was with them that seems to no longer be there. They had a unique their limbs, they were very similar to the Lionel arms that you guys brought back. So I had my suspicions that those two things might be connected based on what Frederick said. It makes the most logical sense that she's involved with that.
Interesting.
Obviously, a little bit over our pay grade, but still something to keep an eye on.
It may be above our pay grade, but I fear we may be wrapped up in it nonetheless.
Definitely, considering we're helping the Zora. But we can see what happens. Anyways, I'll drop formal contract since I would like to formally give this job to you guys, especially since we are working with the king. It'd be best to have all of our I's and T's dotted crossed, so to say.
I believe that the group would be much obliged by that. It seems that they have many things that they would like to have assistance with. I did go and speak with one of the shops about blue potions, and I'll be working on acquiring our team a few more. I might have to bother you for a couple of magical bottles, though. I'm uncertain how many we actually have.
And that's an easy ask. Let me know if you need any more, and I'll work on that. Especially if you need any materials as well. See what we have. I don't know how much we have with us currently, based on, because obviously we were more so supplying weapons and arms this time around. Have too many. See what we have around if you can. Scrounge up the materials yourselves.
And quite the... And this is where Nibby forgets a word. It's not industrious. I'm gonna say industrious, but that's not the word I'm looking for. Quite the industrious woman.
Illustrious?
No, it's...
What is the thing you're trying to mean?
Describing?
Yeah.
Oh, it is industrious, diligent and hardworking. So I was correct.
Oh,
it is. Okay, there you go.
I don't need to doubt myself.
Okay.
There you go. You had it.
You're smarter than you realize.
Okay. Of course. I will write up the contract. and bring it back to you for the rest of the group to sign, or whoever wants to be the de facto leader of your crew, and then we'll go from there. Have them think about an appropriate reward that they would like. If not, I will do my own calculations for you guys. So.
Of course, sir. And how are you after all of that? And she actually looks concerned about him.
He acknowledges that she's trying to figure out what's going on. Doing better now. Obviously, they took the... Shut up, Jaxie! They took a bit of a beating against the armored one, but the night in the healing pools did me pretty well. Still a bit sore and working on it. Apparently I had a bit more of a wound on my arm that I didn't notice before, so we've been healing that. Would explain this. This holds up the bandages on his arm, or in his hand. But I'm doing alright. Matter of recovery, just like you.
Of course. Do be careful and stay safe while you're here. Your children will need you to return home.
Sure. You as well. I can't have my stop and play going anywhere off me. Just be way too much work if I lost you.
They can't pay me enough to retain me.
Well, I won't keep you held up anymore. I'll be back with the contract once I draw it up.
She curtsies, and then she's going to head back to the group to let them know about beryllium poisoning from Demira.
He just gives her the slight nod as she walks away.
So what are the details of this poisoning, DM?
Think about it like mercury poisoning, basically. That's the easiest way to think about it. So
It's just... She bleeds mercury.
basically.
Is Lumi explaining this to us right now?
Yeah, as soon as she comes back, she's just going to kind of like plop
oh,
down
shit.
by Demira and pat Demira's shoulder and say, "Ma'am, you bleed poison.
This isn't your fault, but...
You bleed poison, and I need you to understand that we have to be very careful with you."
She looks horrified.
At that point, she will go into the whole, no, it's called beryllium, and give the spiel.
So does it only happen if we like ingest it, or if it touches us?
It is absorbed through the skin in its liquid state. Yes.
So while it's liquidy.
When it's been
Demira pulls
oxidized,
out
it
her
isn't as
med kit.
bad, but it is. Be careful.
Can I do a medicine check on Velkorin? Because I believe he's the only person who has touched the beryllium. Right? I don't think anyone else has touched her while she's down because she's gotten back up. Either
Didn't
by
Akari grab her body and get her out?
healing?
Cure wounds is a touch spell.
Oh yeah, and yes,
So-
Akari did pull her out of the water. Okay, so Demira's
So,
gonna
all
do
three
some
of us.
medicine checks. Demira's gonna do medicine checks on the whole party, even the
like-
people who didn't.
Yeah, because I don't think she is. It was said and he
She was
touched her, but
unconscious.
yeah.
Context,
think-
yeah.
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
unconscious for some of those. So she'll do a medicine check on everyone in the party,
Yeah.
if I'm allowed.
Yeah. Go.
Can I guide myself for all of them?
Hang on.
Just for a little
Be-
detour.
Because Lumi is like seeing how concerned Demira is, she will also do enhance ability on Demira for this.
wisdom.
Just so you will have Owl's wisdom.
Okay, so I have
Nice.
to do 5 checks. I'm gonna give everyone a checkup.
5 checks. There's only 4 of you there.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I
I
don't
was
have to do
gonna say.
myself.
You're like, am I poisoned?
Oh no, there's poison in my blood. Am I poisoned? Ah! Ow! The poison.
I can't do math and laugh at the same time. Okay, first one is 24. that would be Velkorin, I think, because I said that one first, and then I said Akari and Vivra after that, and then Lumi.
Medicine check for me. I don't. I have one arm and.
Missing an arm. He fucking is
No signs
not doing
of
great. He's missing an
poisoning,
arm.
right, Tom?
Or is he?
And Demira hasn't really seen him acting strange except for the few outbursts in combat.
It's true.
So, okay.
Whether
so
or not
she
there's a
doesn't have
connection,
any
she might not know.
suspicions. She doesn't have any suspicions. Okay.
Wait, do we need to roll to be poisoned from the Aurelium?
Maybe. We'll see. I haven't had to make you yet, so.
Okay, that's a 27 medicine check on Akari. Does Akari have any
Dang.
signs of poisoning?
Nope.
Okay, good.
Remember thinking about how she felt the hole in
Panic.
Demira's chest when she cure wound.
Oop.
25 medicine check on
Amazing.
Vivra. Does she have any signs of poison?
Nope.
Okay, and then Lumi.
Lumi has never touched her, so not when she's bleeding, so she should be fine. This would be really funny if Zom said that she was the one who had it.
Oh my gosh. It'd be
That'd be
really
pretty
funny
something.
if Demira failed this roll, so Demira thinks
I
Lumi's
did
poisoned.
roll bad.
Yeah.
Even with advantage?
Yeah, I got like a 6 and a 2, so that's and then but I got 4 on bless.
You got.
I think. Yeah, I did. Okay. So that's 16? Yeah.
I mean, that's not bad.
16
Louis,
on
make 3
Lumi,
death
not
saving throws right now. No.
Let's go!
No. You're also fine.
Demira punches you to do it.
Louis would know since she works with it that it's generally fine as long as you don't ingest it for the most part. But obviously, the more precautions you can, the better.
Just don't consume the Aurelium, and be careful if you are casting Cure Wounds on Demira. Try not to interact with the Aurelium as much as you can. It is safer to avoid touching it.
Much more toxic when it's like pure Aurelium form. When it's been oxidized, less lethal, but still is.
I'm so sorry. I knew some of its properties, but I didn't know what it was called or that it could poison anyone. I'm so sorry.
It's all right. You did not know, and I did not think to mention it until just now when I was speaking with Malice.
I'll be very careful.
It's better that we have the information now and then not at all. And we're all good now, so look on the bright side, as they'll say.
Well, we are getting close to that time here, so what else do you guys want to do last minute? This is probably a good point to wrap up.
I drink a cup of Aurelium to be safe.
Oh, don't do that. Get over here, Demira. Let me stab you again.
That's my favorite drink. I add it to my tea every night.
It makes my insides feel pretty.
Yeesh.
I asked Zom this earlier, but Zom never replied to me. Has Lumi had her wings out this whole time?
No, I just wanted them on screen today.
Oh, okay. 'Cause I
Yeah.
asked Zom about it, and
I
Zom
thought I
didn't
answered.
tell me.
I said
so-
that's what she wanted.
Well, yeah, but you didn't tell me if they were
Oh,
out. I said, were
sorry,
they out?
I
You
didn't
didn't
hear that
respond.
No.
Okay. Got it.
Her wings are gonna be out so rarely that if Zom gives me the opportunity to decide, I'm gonna like flip back and forth.
It would
Yeah, between
if I
that and
could
nature.
have the other way of our reactives working, I could do it more often. Otherwise, now it's chain.
Okay, I wanted to check that I hadn't missed something. Because Demira really, really likes feathers and wings, so I had to know.
She'll
Go
still
for
have
that.
her opportunity.
Make a coat out of you.
No.
No.
Velkorin will.
Right? I
Velkorin
was gonna
might,
say
though.
Velkorin's like, hey, come here for a second.
Any last minute things you guys want to do?
If there was anything else, Akari, before turning in, would just mention if nothing else, she's gonna take another soak in the bath if it's free.
Velkorin's just waiting for the ring to show up.
And meditate with the blade, her new weapon next to her.
I'll wait till next time to give my ring to Velkorin.
They're gonna trade rings. Oh God!
I did
my
not know that
goodness.
he was getting the ring too.
I've had it planned for a long time. I just needed to get to Malice.
Both of them. The ring thing planned.
That's funny. That's actually.
I needed an eye
Rings
because
are
it's
just like the easiest accessory.
well, it is. And it's like, well, that can learn because if it was a necklace and she transformed, right, and the necklace's properties didn't like form to fit, it would just fall off. But the ring could form to fit around the weapon, right?
Mhm.
So it's logically the
Got
best
some-
option I
Got
have.
some logic in there.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
And you do know that when Malice gave her the ring of spell storing, it kind of fused into her as
Yeah.
like part of her. So certain magical items she can kind of bind with.
Alrighty then. Well, with that, then I think we will wrap this session up. Mr. Velkorin has to get up early in the fucking morning, so don't want to keep him up too late. Past his bedtime, old man.
Well,
Meanwhile, he's gonna stay up for another 3 hours, probably still at least.
probably like 2 hours.
Yeah, that's what I
Play
thought.
video games and things.
Get food.
But yeah, we'll wrap up for this week, and we'll be back in 2 weeks after that. I guess I forgot I did have a minor announcement. I'm on vacation for 2 weeks right now. So hopefully, maybe I'll stream a couple more times outside of doing that. But other than that, probably just be another 2 weeks before we do another session of this, and we'll be back then. So thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you all next time. Oh boy!
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Now I'm gone.